It was just a normal day in Ponyville. Spike had been asked by Twilight to take some of the letters to the post office and mail them, and since he didn't have anything else to do, he did it. As he was waiting in line at the post office, he was thinking what else to do since he didn't have any other errands to take care of or any other plans for the day. After he had just turned over the mail Derpy and left the office, he just walked around and just wondered what else to do, since it was a quite nice day and he didn't know what else to do. And suddenly, when he was just walking around, and someone's like yelled out, "Look out!" And before he even could have any reaction, some pony flew right down to him, and he was really in a daze for only a brief moment before he regained after he regained everything what he was happened. He was like he sat up and like, what? Did I what did I hear by a bird or something? But as he saw a Pegasus who was actually next to him in a daze, like this was at least he thought maybe it was Rainbow who was practiced some of her flying skills and had hit them, which has happened before. But not this time. There was a mare, a Pegasus that he has never seen before. After she regained of her mind as well from the daze, she looked at him and apologized for that. She was trying to practice some new stunts that she was wanted to improve. He said, no harm down. He just a little bit out of daze, but he even asked her what her name is. She said her name is Indigo Zap, but before he could even say anything else, she took off in the air and was gone in the next second. That was pretty odd. And even when he went back to the castle, he actually told Twilight about this, and she was surprised and even asked if he was okay though. Yeah, I'm fine. Just that was not what I expected to happen, he said. Did you get her name? If I may ask Twilight. Yeah, her name was Indigo Zap, I think her name was. Indigo Zap. No, that doesn't ring a bell. I mean, the name doesn't sound familiar to me though. Must be a new here. Or maybe just a visitor. Later in the afternoon, when Rainbow came to visit, she was going to have some reading with Twilight about during the book, when the topic of Indigo Zap came up. And Rainbow shook her head if she was asked if she knew her. But she said, no, the name doesn't sound familiar to me. Why? Twilight used to make it brief what happened. Oh, wow. That sounded like I did once before to Spike. Yeah, but I wonder who she is though. I wasn't mad or anything. Maybe she just took off because she believed that you were scared or mad at her or something, said Rainbow. It's possible, said Spike, but I don't know. For the next couple of days when Spike was out, he was always aware of looking around if he could see this new, mysterious Indigo Zap, either at the market, or at the park, or basically anywhere. But nowhere. He even had asked around. A few actually didn't know who Spike was talking about. Turned out, Indigo Zap was new moved to Ponyville from Maid Haddon. She was apparently very much a Wonderbolt fanatic, or she wanted to be part of the Wonderbolts. And she was practiced after copied some of the style that Rainbow had been doing at his own performance. And as Spike was at the park that same afternoon, he was just thinking about this particular Indigo Zap. And suddenly, look out! and he this time managed to jump on the other side and saw that some point right in the bushes. Are you okay? Ow, ow. Yeah, I think so. Indigo Zap, you really had to be careful. If you're trying to copy or at least try to make someone use some rainbow dash tricks, you may probably have to ask her directly yourself. Wait, how do you know that? She asked, but she looked up from the bushes. Well, I heard some of the opponents mention it to me. Yeah, I'm trying to be. I'm not trying to copy her. I'm just trying to, you know, train some of my own tricks, but I wanted to try some of hers. And as she was walking out from the bushes, as she was about to try to fly, when she realized one of her right wing was hurting. Ow! Are you okay? Yeah, my wing is hurt. You know, we should take it to the doctor to see if there's anything serious. Hope not. So Spike accompanied her to the hospital. They put an X-ray, and it wasn't broken, unlikely though. Only a sprained wing, actually. But she had to be not flying around for the next couple of days, just in case if they make the things worse. And Spike took her to her place, which was a small apartment. And there, he did see some posters of the Wonderbolts and even a picture framed of her, of Rainbow as her biggest idol, apparently. It turned out that she wanted to be in a Wonderbolt reserve, but she has always been afraid if she would even been accepted in. And Spike's like, you know, Rainbow was like pretty much the same. Wait, she was scared? Yeah, I don't think, I mean, even though she never admitted, but I'm pretty sure she were, that she may not have even, if she wouldn't have been accepted in as a Wonderbolt reserve. But just look what it took her. It took her a lot of courage. And now she's a full member of the Wonderbolts. If she can done it, if the other Wonderbolts like Spitfire, Sorin, if they can done it, so can you. Wait, you believe me with that? Well, yeah. I mean, any pony could have always had this great opportunity to do that. And if you want, I can ask Rainbow to train you, like, be your personal coach. Wait, you would do that for me? Despite not knowing me that well? Yeah, I mean, it's clearly you're a big fan of the Wonderbolts and that you want to be a Wonderbolt reserve. And having an actual Wonderbolt as your personal trainer or personal coach, it's a good step in that. I guess you have a right point there, though. But I'm not so sure if you would. Okay, I can ask her, but don't worry. I cannot make the promises, but it's possible she would. And by the end of the day, Spike was actually talking to Rainbow, and when he mentioned this to her about Indigo Zap, her dreams, her goals, she accepted the offer. And she actually was. Spike informed Indigo Zap the next day. She was ecstatic. But fortunately, won't be doing training until her wing is completely healed. After about a week, she was waiting at the meadows for Rainbow Dash along with Spike. Then when Rainbow did show up, her training with Rainbow was having a little bit of setbacks back and forward, but eventually she got the hang of it. And after being trained for almost 3 weeks constantly about Rainbow, she felt that she had enough confidence that she wanted to go to Wonderbolt Academy as ready to be one of the reserves, or at least apply for it. Spike told her just to do it. And she went to this academy and applied, and she didn't know if she would be accepted in a couple of days. And a couple of days later, she found Spike in the park. She said that she had a letter from the Wonderbolt Academy, but she hadn't even opened it. She was just scared. She was scared to open it. Spike opened it for her, and he said, Indigo Zap, I'm sorry to tell you. Oh no, I didn't accept it in. I'm afraid to tell you, but you were accepted in. Wait, what? Then he gave her the letter, and it said, you have been accepted in Wonderbolt Reserves. She couldn't believe it. She thanked Spike for the confidence of her and introducing her to Rainbow as a trainer. And for that, she gave him a kiss. And he immediately apologized but he said, to be honest, Indigo Zap, I actually have fallen in love with you. She was like, wait, are you serious? Yeah, I am. He even asked her if she wanted to go out with him. And she said yes, actually. And they actually start dating, and after about almost a couple of months, they were at officially. But then, as they start dating, she was also doing her official training at the Wonderbolt Academy as one of the reserves. Even though she had no idea how tough some of the training and exercise could have been. But at least know that she had some off-time training with Rainbow from time to time, still as a coach. That even though that they made that Spike and Indigo Zap couldn't be and see each other so often they wanted to, but they were just happy to be able to spend time as much as they could. Their love for each other only remained strong. Luckily though, that Spike could see her, see her at the Wonderbolt Academy after her practice, and they could go to this cafe in Cloudsdale for having their dates and all that. And one day she was found out that Spitfire was going to announce at least one new member of the Wonderbolt. They apparently was going to add a new member, but not apparently not one of the older ones going to retire, but they were going to add a new one. But since there were at least 8 Wonderbolt reserves, so the chance of one of the 8 could be her, she was nervous. And even though that she knows at least one of the Wonderbolt personally, it wouldn't make any difference, so Spike told her. You know, no matter how much you're really close friends to one of the official members, it wouldn't affect your chances to be there. I know. I wouldn't even ask Rainbow for that favor anyways. It would just, call it like a cheating. But I told her to at least, let me guess, you told her to telling Spitfire to consider all options of all the reserves and make it fair choose. Yeah, pretty much. By the end of the week, Indigo Zap was sad to hear that she wasn't taken in. But she was still one of the reserves. And even though that eventually she chose them to stop being one of the reserves, Spike was like, are you sure? I mean, I thought that this was your dream. It is, but then suddenly, Rainbow actually had given her opportunity to something else. Even though now she found out that she's not allowed to be a Wonderbolt reserve anymore, but she had been given an offer by her and Spitfire to be a Wonderbolt reserve trainer. That meant even though she wouldn't been able to be as official member of the Wonderbolt team, but being an official coach / trainer to train the new ones, current reserves and other future ones. She accepted the offer. This was the closest step to be an official member of the Wonderbolts. But she asked if it was possible if some of the members would have been sick, if she would have been could step in as an acting member. I mean, it was like if something like that could happen. The others said this potentially that could happen, but but she was just happy to be a trainer for the reserves. And her relationship with Spike had remained strong over time though, even as she had never even imagined. Now she has a great boyfriend, but also having her dream job. But being as official trainer for the Wonderbolt reserves, it meant that she wouldn't be able to spend time with Spike as much as she wanted before. But Spike told her that she didn't have to worry, because now she will have something that to look forward to every single day, and that this is always something that she will be remembered for. Her impact for future generations on Wonderbolt will be something to look forward to. She smiled at that and said, "You're right, Spike. You're right. And I can't be happy for this." And this was one thing that even Spike couldn't be happy for either. And after being together for 10 years, Spike thought he was ready to take the next step in their relationship. And he took Indigo Zap to Manhattan to celebrate their anniversary for that. And he took her to a restaurant there and proposed, and she said yes. She couldn't be happier to be that Spike took the step to ask her. And when they informed the families and friends, everybody was just happy about it. They couldn't be happier to have been to see this day come. And they choose to have their wedding in Canterlot. And as a gift from the Wonderbolt, they actually even did perform a show even after the ceremony. And even as Rainbow to be Indigo Zap's maid of honor, and Spike had asked Big Macintosh to be his best man. And as a special bonus, he had even asked if Discord could make the fireworks at the ceremony afterwards, which he approved to do. Spike was just happy to see Indigo Zap standing next to him during the ceremony, and even afterwards. Every other guest could see how happy they were together. Just dancing, smiling, just a true happy couple. And even after all this, they were just happy. And later, they went to Las Vegas for 2 weeks for the honeymoon. And they just had a great, amazing time. Just enjoying these magical shows and some of the rides and just having a great time. And later, about 2 years later, they were expecting their first baby. And when they had told every pony of their friends and families, they were so overjoyed. They learned that they was expecting a boy. And just barely 4 years later, they even had a daughter. Indigo Zap was just happy that she had managed to fulfill her dream, even though that she was not the official member of the team itself, but being a personal trainer to the Wonderbolt reserves, it was the closest thing. But not only that, to be married with to be someone that she loved and had all the support even from her and made her to feel this confidence. She was just happy to find her true love within Spike. And Spike though, he was just happy that he found Indigo Zap to be with. Their love for each other was an unbreakable bond. And this is how Spike and Indigo Zap found a true love, got a big family together. The end.